And then the young boy McFarland, man, he showed some speed, man. He looked good out there. I was definitely impressed by that, man. I was glad to see him come in, have an impact, keep that thing rolling, man. Protect the ball, keep it rolling.
Bro, I mean, the general probably talk right now then is, I mean, you did your Steeler radio. Was this brought up?
What?
More snaps for McFarland here?
Nah.
Or what do you, it wasn't.
It wasn't, bro.
Is that just me thinking that?
Yeah. The thing that I heard was they need to have Derek Watt out there more because the running game looked better. I promise you. I promise you that was the talk today. More Derek Watt. Is the injury? I'm telling you now. They said, is the injury to Derek Watt going to have a negative impact on the offense because the running game looks so good? But the thing was this, even with the power running, it wasn't just with Derek out there. They used Vance as well out the gun with the some of the pulls and counter rushes.
They had Ben and pistol sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just letting you know that was the consensus. It wasn't this whole running back. All right, next running back, get McFarland. People are back on the James Conner is the guy. He's the bell cow. Even Coach Tomlin said he's the bell cow after this performance.
I think we can agree with that. But man, so he had 6 rushes with 1 catch. He had 6
rushes for 42 yards and 1 catch. James had 18 rushes, 109 yards, a touchdown, and he had 4 catches for 40 yards.
So 7 touches for McFarland yesterday, which it didn't feel like it was taking away anything from anyone else in the offense.
Yeah. I mean, McFarland had 7 touches. Benny Snell had 7 carries as well.
Yeah, what did you say, Samuel? Samuel had 2 touches?
Samuel had 1 touch and...
Well, he had, I don't know what the hell we were doing, because we did this both with Samuel and McFarland on like a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and ran them inside. Yeah.
Listen, if the McFarland one would have worked, obviously I'd be singing the praises of that. Yeah. Like, oh man, this guy really has it here. But come on, man, Samuel on a 3rd and 1. Let's get Snell or Connor in there at least.
Well, the thing that I would say is this: I don't mind whichever running back they had back there, but the strength of the Texans' defense was their interior. They struggled on the perimeters. We said even when we watched them against Baltimore, they didn't have an edge of the defense, and that's why all those counters, all those powers, all those outside hitting runs that we saw James gash them with. That's where I would want the play to go if I'm going to use Samuel. So I'm going to use McFarland. I want to have them guys on the perimeter because that was where they struggled. They still haven't fixed it. I went back and watched the Chiefs game again, and I was like, even with Clyde, he's still, a lot of his runs, a lot of his success was on the perimeter. I don't know why their defense is set up the way it is, but they don't force the ball back. And what I mean by that is when you think about our defense, right? TJ and Bud, they hardly ever let anything outside of them. A lot of times Cam and Tuitt pull up plays as 3 techniques, right? Shooting through the B gaps. But when you have an edge of the defense like TJ or Bud, when it forces it back, it lets everyone get a chance to get in on the play. So you're not gashing nothing. You're not letting the safety have to take all the tackles or the corners have to hit. The Texans, they do the opposite, though. The Texans, they don't set the edge of a defense and make it go back to their linebackers or make it go back to their D-line. They let it get on the perimeter, and now you're hoping that a safety or a corner or somebody small is going to make that tackle in the alley. And time after time, these first 3 games, that guy has missed. And, a 2-yard run is a 10-yard run or a 12-yard run. So for me, that was my only concern or my only issue with those guys being in there on that. If they just hit it on the perimeter,
3rd and short,
just run into the perimeter. That's where you've had the success throughout the whole day, and that's where they struggled the most. Sometimes you try to outsmart yourself, though.
Dude, can I ask you about McFarland though? I don't see why he can't carve out a permanent role in this offense right now.
Well, I mean, this week we're talking about McFarland. The first week we're talking about
no.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying the bell cow though, but like 7 carries, like that definitely helped the offense, and you could definitely see the change of pace and stuff. So I don't see why we can't get him maybe between 7 to 10 touches a game.
Well, the way that if they can operate how they did yesterday, that works because, like I said, they clearly with them having Benny Snell get the ball 7 times after a bad performance, right, putting the ball on the ground again. That lets me know he's still a big part of that offense. You know James is going to get the double-digit touches. So, yeah, you still got the 6, like I said, from McFarland, and then from there, you can make it happen as long as they're sustaining drives. For me, I still don't want to put too much of an emphasis on trying to split them dudes up if James is healthy, though. If James is healthy, I like him to be out there because we see what he is doing right now. This game, I thought, was his best game in a while, man, in terms of his running demeanor, in terms of just the confidence that he played with. We said in week 2, he didn't have that type of confidence. Even though he had over 100 rushing, he just didn't look like that.
He had the one run, man, I remember he got blasted in the shoulder. Do you remember this? And I was like, oh shit. He got up. He was good. I think it was late in the game.
It was going to their sideline, right? I saw the one where he went to their sideline. He gets hit. Juju's like, "Are you good?" And he's like, he fans him off. And then I don't remember if he stays in or not, but I definitely remember him like fanning off like, "I'm good."
No, man. Like I said, he's not this flashy runner, but he ran good yesterday. Like you could definitely, there was a difference, I think, between this week and last week.
Yeah.
But especially as the game got later and later, in my opinion, that's kind of my thing. And yeah, I thought the running game was a big part of how good we did, just as an offense.
Yeah, and I think the running game and how it was able to sustain drives in the second half, I thought that helped out a lot more the defense in the second half.